All right, everybody. Good morning. We are. It's about 5:30, and I'm heading to the Flosstube retreat. I'm really excited about this, and I'm really nervous. And it's too dark to record and drive. So I will see y'all more in a little while. I just wanted to say good morning. Hi. Okay, I'm trying this recording while I'm driving thing, and I don't know how much it's gonna shake because the new thing I have to hold it doesn't seem all that stable. So it's one of those like suction cups to your windshield and holds the phone. Anyway, I also got it because I'm having to rely on my GPS for this trip because I've never been to Austin. And there's that. I had to stop and get my for real this morning. This isn't something I can get in the town where I live. It's a couple towns over. And I always seem to stop and get one when I'm going to be driving. And I don't drink coffee, so a strawberry banana smoothie first thing in the morning works for me. So the plan, I'm driving. I've been on the road since about 4:30, but I had to stop and get gas and something to eat and drink. I stopped at Walmart to get this little suction cup thingy, and now I'm on my way. I'm not going straight into Austin because the retreat doesn't actually start till this evening. But everybody that's going has been talking about an LNS that is just north of Austin in Copper's Cove. Yeah. So that's where I'm heading right now. Everybody else, they're trying to get a group together to go around lunchtime. But because I'm picking people up from the airport, I didn't want to, be rushed and or be late to pick somebody up and have them sitting there waiting for me. So right now I'm heading to Copper's Cove. I'm going to stop by the LNS. Then I'm heading to the airport. I'm picking up Karen at noon, taking her back to the hotel, and then going back to the airport. Brittany from Ingleside Imaginarium, she is coming in at 3, and then Jennifer from Delicious Threads is coming in at 4, and I'm going to pick both of them up. Brittany's going to wait for Jennifer to get off her flight, and then I will pick them both up and go to the hotel. So, and then that'll be right about the time that everybody starts going to the conference room for the beginning of the retreat, because I believe they said it starts at 5. Check into the hotels at 3, and the conference room is at 5 o'clock. So that's my day currently. I am so excited, but like my stomach has started feeling the nerves. This is so out of my comfort zone. I'm not that great at meeting new people, and that's one of the reasons I offer to pick people up from the airport, because it gives me that chance to meet just 1 or 2 people at a time before I go into a room full of people. Because I know that this community is amazing and everybody is warm and welcoming and talkative, but in my mind I keep feeling like I'm gonna get lost. A lot of the Flosstubers that are going are extremely popular Flosstubers. Everybody knows their names and knows them and wants to meet them. And while I've been on Flosstube for a while, I'm not one of the popular ones, and so I have this fear of getting lost, like being ignored, things like that. And I know that won't happen, but it's getting over that anxiety that I have. And I know from watching videos that several of the ladies there have anxiety about meeting new people and things like that, or just anxiety in general. I know this trip is a big thing for a lot of people, but I'm really excited. I can't wait to see how it's gonna go. My husband keeps telling me, I hope you have so much fun this weekend. and I'm looking forward to it. And it's really weird driving alone right now. Like, of course, I don't have anybody in the vehicle when I drive to and from work, and the distance it takes me to get to and from work is, almost the same as driving to Austin, mileage-wise. So, I mean, I'm used to being in a vehicle by myself for long periods of time, but when I go out of town, typically, I have either my husband, my kids, all of them. There's something in the vehicle making noise and talking to me, so that's a new one for me. And so I've just been kind of blasting the music and enjoying myself, getting nice and nervous. I wasn't even able to finish my breakfast, I'll be honest. Like, I still have a whole kolache sitting here because my stomach got all kinds of in nerves. But I'm sure once I get there, that'll all settle down. One of the things I thought about doing, because I'm not going to, keep recording the entire time, but I figured I'd jump on and off over the course of the weekend, and show a little bit of everything that's going on. But recently, everybody did the 20 random facts tags, and I did one, but I thought about doing like a retreat specific 20 random facts, and I'll try and keep it as on topic as possible because my brain doesn't always work that way. But so trying to think, I had come up with a few while I was waiting for the sun to come up so I could record, and now I can't think of them. And this one kind of has to do with the retreat or the road trip to the retreat, either or, but kind of not. A random fact, I wear flip-flops all the time. It takes a long time to get cold in Texas, and even then, I mean, most of the time it's not cold enough that I need to put on socks and shoes because I love it cold. I hate being hot. I keep it like 60 degrees in my bedroom so that I can sleep. I like it cold. So I almost wear flip-flops year round. I like being able to take off my shoes quickly because I don't like wearing shoes. And I like being able to slip them on quickly. I don't like my feet getting sweaty, and socks tend to make your feet sweaty. So pretty much until it snows, I'm not wearing tennis shoes if I don't have to. Like at work, of course, I have to wear my steel-toe boots, but when I'm home, it's flip-flops. And where I live in Texas, it does get snow. Not a lot, not every year, but the last couple years we've gotten snow every year, at least once during the winter, and it's usually enough to like cover the ground, and that's it. So we'll call that random fact number 2, even though I guess it doesn't really have much to do with the retreat. It has to do with Texas, right? And the retreat's in Texas, so you need to know that there are places in Texas where it snows. I'm from Houston, so I mean, I was born and raised in Houston, and I think we got snow down there twice in my entire life, and those were like fluke incidents, and again, it wasn't a whole ton of snow, but out in West Texas we get it a little more often. It gets pretty cold. And another fact about West Texas, it's a dry heat, whereas Houston you have your humidity because you're close to the Gulf. In West Texas it's a dry heat, so even though it technically gets hotter in the summer, it doesn't feel like it. And so when it snows outside, it's not that sticky snow, it's just snow. I don't know. I'm apparently just rambling at this point. So I am currently somewhere between Eden, Texas and Brady, Texas. Again, I'm not real familiar with this area, so that's the best I can give you. It's starting to get pretty hilly. I'm going up and down and up and down, and It looks like a lot of farmland to each of the sides. Still not a lot of trees. We don't have a lot of those in West Texas. So Austin is more Central Texas, and like I said, I've never been to Austin before. So I'm really excited, a little nervous, because who likes to try big cities? I don't do big cities. Like I can, no. So anyway, it's actually looking really cloudy right now, but that could just be because it's still early. It is now about 7:40. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, and I will see y'all again in a little bit. Oh, lovely crack in my window. I just wanted to kind of show y'all, when you get to drive through some of the small towns in Texas, how there's still like that old like town square type setup. And this is something I didn't experience until I came out to West Texas, because in Houston, of course, we're more modernized. I think it's really neat, and you never know what kind of little shops you'll see along the side of the road. I'm sorry, I'm not even recording very well. And most of them have this right here in the middle, and there's a circle around it, and that's usually the courthouse or city hall, something to that effect. So I just wanted to show y'all what it looked like. Okay, I just came up with another road trip fact, random fact. I don't wear sunglasses. It's about to kill me right now, because do you see how bright it is? And like the sun is reflecting off a shiny spot straight down the middle of the road. It's kind of not smart. But anyways, I'm claustrophobic if I have something on my face. Like I can't wear turtlenecks. I can't wear high-waisted pants because they make me feel claustrophobic. So when I was prescribed glasses, I couldn't even wear them. Like they tickle the bridge of my nose and make me extremely freaking nauseous. So I don't wear sunglasses for the same reason. And today is one of those days when I regret that fact. But fun randomness. It is now 8:27 or 27. It's 8:57. I'm not quite sure where I am. I think I just left Lampasas. I'm not positive. I know that I'm about 30 minutes from my destination, which is Copper's Cove, to go to the L&S shop. So I feel like I'm making pretty good time. Originally it said I should be there about 9:30, and now it's saying about 9:20. So, which is surprising because I've been stuck behind so many trucks not going the speed limit. I'm like, people, do you not understand that I'm going to a cross-stitching retreat? I have to get there because I'm excited. You're in my way. No, not really. I mean, I thought all that, but I didn't get any road rage or anything. I'm enjoying the scenery and not so much the sun. And everybody's starting to come out of the woodworks. I've gotten messages from people that are getting ready to get on their flights. Coffee Stitcher just uploaded a video. They're about to head out, and it's just, oh my goodness. Oh, another thing. In that last town I was in, I was going 75 because that's the speed limit on this road. But I was coming into a town, and that's when the speed limit slows down. So I knew it was coming, but I hadn't seen a sign to slow down yet. When I saw a cop coming, like, intersecting into their road into my road. And so right about the time I saw him, I saw the sign where it said I need to slow down to 50. Not 65. They wasn't giving me like a slow down. No. I had to go from 75 to 50 by the time I get to this sign with a cop right there. So I put on the brakes gently, slowed down. Cop got behind me. I'm nervous, and I'm just gonna tell him the truth that I didn't see a sign saying I needed to slow down until right as I saw him. And he wasn't like coming up on me. like he was gonna pull me over. And then he gets off to the shoulder and turns on his lights and flips around and gets a car that flew past me. So no speeding tickets today. And I think that's one of my biggest things is when I'm going to a new area and I'm not familiar with when speed limits change and stuff like that, it just makes me really nervous. Funny story, going back a little bit, I went to Dallas last summer. Well, I go visit my mother and she lives north of Fort Worth, but we were going into Dallas to go to Six Flags. And I had rented a vehicle to take. And it was this nice, brand new SUV with all kinds of gadgets and doohickeys. And we had left Six Flags and we were heading home. And I get pulled over. And I'm like, I didn't think I was speeding. It's a construction zone. Like, my anxiety up to here. And she pulls over and she goes, "Ma'am, is this your vehicle?" I said, "No, ma'am, it's a rental." She goes, "Oh, well, let me show you how to turn on your headlights." Because it had automatic headlights, but those weren't the full headlights. So we got them turned on. I didn't get a ticket, but it's a funny story. Okay, I'm about to have to make a turn, so I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll talk to you later. Alright, everybody, here we are again. I've already recorded this video once, and then while trying to clear enough space on my iPad to be able to upload it, because I didn't have enough space, I deleted everything. I don't know why I thought I had a backup on my phone. I don't record on my phone. Anyway, if I do this correctly, you should have just seen the morning that I left for the retreat in my drive there. And then after that, I epically failed at recording anymore. I did not record anything the rest of the weekend. So that's why you're seeing my lovely face now. So, yeah, here we are. I'm going to go over my Flosstube retreat weekend. Then I will go over some amazing haul. Then whips. I have no finishes. And then, of course, my flavor of the week. Actually, I may move my flavor of the week to the front, and I'll explain why when I get there. Okay, so when I last spoke to you, I was on my way to the LNS. I was about 30 minutes out. I said that I had passed Lampasas, but I had went over Lampasas Bridge. I hadn't actually passed Lampasas yet. That was the next town I hit, and then after that, I was in Coppers Cove. The LNS was amazing. I got there at 9:30, right as they opened. The two ladies that were sitting there, they were, they chatted with me a little bit, and they were sitting there stitching and enjoying themselves. I was like, I'm just warning you, you're going to be a little bit busy later, because I believe a lot of people are coming from the retreat to come see the shop. So they were all excited about that. I got some in my eye. So I was a little overwhelmed at all the stuff that was in this shop, and I spent a good little time looking around. And then the owner of the shop came in, and she helped me out a little bit because I was looking at stands. I believe her name is Lois. If that's not correct, please, I apologize. And she helped me pick out a stand. I do not have that with me today. I will insert a picture at the end of this, because I do have a picture of it. And yeah, so I bought some stuff there. Left there, went and picked up Karen from the airport. And I actually was a bit late picking her up because, oh my goodness, Austin traffic. Like, it's real. Real crazy. And especially the direction I was coming, and the fact that I was going to the airport, because a lot of their construction is right there by the airport. But I picked up Karen, On our way to the hotel, you know, I put it in my phone, my little GPS, and we got to the hotel, and it's this big building where they've got like an indoor garage. And as soon as we pull in, it's free valet parking. Like, they don't give you the option to park your own vehicle. They're like, take your truck. So, excuse me, the valet took our truck, gave us a ticket. They took Karen's luggage and then gave us a ticket because it wasn't time for check-in yet. And so we're wandering around this hotel, and we're trying to find the other stitchers, because we had seen where McKenna was already going live in the lobby with other people sitting there stitching with her, and we can't find the stitchers anywhere. So we stop a young man that worked there, and we said, where are the cross stitchers? He looked at me like I lost my mind, and he said, well, our lounge is through here. I said, we've already been in there. There wasn't anybody in there. And he said, well, the only other option is the bar on the 18th floor. I said, no, they weren't sitting at a bar. So, at least not yet. And so he's like, you know, are you at the right hotel? I said, the Hilton Garden Inn. He's like, yeah. I said, the Hilton Garden Inn North. He said, no, this is downtown. So we got with the valet, and we got our bags, and we got our truck. And it's literally on the same side of I-35, 10 minutes down the road. So just like a straight shot. So on our way there, we were about to, we were at the very last part where we needed to make a U-turn to be on this side. And we saw a wreck right next to us. A car tried to cut off an 18-wheeler. Don't know what she was thinking. And we're like, let's just get to the hotel. So we got there, and everybody had moved into the conference room. And, you know, we got to meet and chat with a couple people. And Lori was so funny because I walked up to meet her, and she's like, oh, no, we're huggers. Everybody here's huggers except Julia. Don't, you know. So they're very warm and welcoming. And I sat there and chatted for like an hour. And I thought, I was like, I don't have to pick them up from the airport till 3. And at this point, it's only 2. I said, well, I'll go ahead and leave early, and I'll get gas and maybe some food, meet them up at the airport. With the way traffic was, I made it there right as Brittany was coming out and standing in the passenger pickup. That's with getting gas, but not getting any food. So, picked Brittany up, and she had a heck of a time. Her first flight was delayed, and so she was supposed to connect to a transfer in Atlanta, and she thought she was going to miss the transfer and get in really late. Well, then they held the plane because there were so many people that were supposed to be going to Austin. So she got there about 15 minutes after what she thought she was going to. And about the time I picked her up, we went to a parking lot and moved her luggage from the back seat to the trunk because it was so busy in the passenger pickup. I didn't want to mess with it. So we just stuck it in the back seat, drove, parked, put her luggage in the trunk, and then Jen was like, I'm at the passenger pickup. So Jen from Delicious Threads. So we drove around and we got her. And then we headed back to the hotel. And then, of course, everybody was starting to file in. The people that had went to LNS that afternoon were back, and everybody was just kind of there. And we sat down and we stitched, and we enjoyed each other's company until midnight, and then we left. My hotel was right next to the hotel where the convention was staying at, or where the retreat was in the conference room. I can't talk tonight. I've already done this once, like I said. So I met up with Courtney. She was my roommate, and we chatted for a little bit about the day and then went to sleep because I was very tired at this point. I had been up since 4:30 in the morning. So next morning we got up about 8 o'clock. That's when the conference room opened. It might have opened a little earlier, but the night before they had said 8 o'clock, so that's when I showed up. They served us a continental breakfast. We ate breakfast and enjoyed each other's company until I did that last video too. I inhaled too sharp. I'm gonna have to pause. I'll be right back. So, we all took a late lunch because a lot of people didn't want to be leaving for dinner right around the time that they were going to be doing the raffle and everything else. So, 4 of us that I was sitting with, it was Brittany from Ingleside Imaginarium, Sherry Beck, and Regina Sharp and myself. We went and ate Chewy's for lunch and had a great time. Then came back and stitched and laughed and chatted and had a great time. And then there was the raffle at 7. Oh, and I did a bunch of shopping because Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics had brought all her goodies, and I did some shopping. And then they had the raffle. I don't remember all the raffle items, but a few of them are. They had 2 sets of needle minders donated by Kate at No Name Needle Minders here on Facebook. Or not here, this is YouTube. On Facebook. She had 1 set that was cross-stitchy stuff and another set that was like sweets, sort of. And then they had 3 Flosstube bags. 2 were donated by Sherry Burkett. 1 was donated by Trisha at 3 Owl Threads. Under the Sea Fabrics donated a basket. I think they said it had $130 worth of stuff. I don't remember what all was in there, but I know there was one of those travel mugs, and it said, I survive. How's it go? I survive off caffeine, cross stitch, and cuss words. I believe that's how it goes. And there was a bunch of other stuff like threads and this and that in the bag, or in the basket. Next, she donated a gift certificate for $25 at Under the Sea Fabrics. I know there was several patterns. Lady of the Flag was one of them. There was some hand-dyed threads. Brittany at Ingleside Imaginarium, she donated what she calls her critters. They're little stuffed critters that their bellies you can hold pins and stuff in, like needle pins, like a pin cushion. And she had several. She had dragons and goat, a lion, an owl. They were so adorable. And she does sell them on her website. I will link a lot of what I'm saying below, and so y'all can check it out. And she custom makes them, and this was, you win a free custom made, like you tell her what creature you want created, she does it and sends it to you. So I entered for 6 different items because they were all raffled off separately. I put 5 entries into each thing I entered for. I entered for both the needle minder sets, all 3 of the the project bags. Oh, I cannot talk tonight. And the gift basket. And I won 2 of them. I won the needle minders. So I'll show those in a little bit when I show everything that I'm going to show. And we just stitched till midnight. Now, I found out a little late in the game that I requested the wrong days off. I only requested off through Saturday because my brain thought it was the 5th, 6th, and 7th was the retreat when it was actually the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So I had to work tonight. So I had to leave really early. I was planning on leaving about 6 o'clock this morning, which would have put me home at 11. I would have gotten like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and then came to work. But I was so excited and had so much adrenaline from sitting and chatting and enjoying myself that I couldn't go to sleep. So at 1 in the morning, I packed up my truck and I left. Got home about 6 o'clock this morning and had a nice restful day so that I could come to work tonight. There's something all over me. So that was my weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I met some amazing people, and you know, it was really nice when they were like, oh man, you can't come back tomorrow, can't you just call in? You know, they were really bummed that I wasn't going to be there. and just meeting all these people that you watch sometimes on a weekly basis, sometimes more, and you feel like you know them, but you've never actually met them, and it's always a one-sided conversation. And then you meet them and it's now a two-sided conversation, and when we watch the video, you see from here to here. It's hard to judge somebody based on that, like physically. So the first thing I said to Katie, the stash queen, was, "You're taller than I expected you to be, considering all I ever see is this," when we watch her videos. So it was a very interesting experience. I definitely want to do it again. I feel like I came away with a lot from it. And I'm not just talking about the stuff that I bought. I mean, I've had several people request friendship on Facebook or Instagram. People message me and just say it was great meeting you, things like that. So it was awesome. So now I'm going to do my flavor of the week. I don't normally do this at the beginning because some people don't want to listen to me ramble. But since pretty much most of this video is rambling anyway, I'm just going to get it out of the way. So fast forward till you see me hold something up if you don't want to listen. Flavor of the week, I gave up on books. I'm still going to try and get through Snow Like Ashes since I'm listening to it. I found that I listen to it a little bit on my drive home in the mornings, but for the most part, I'm too into my stitching right now to care about reading. It happens. It's just going to be that way. I watched 3 movies this week. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I thought it was really good. Had just enough comedy in it for me to really enjoy myself. And I don't know, I think I'd even go so far as to say I'd watch it again. It was pretty good. Also watched Wonder Woman. It was a very good movie. And Transformers, something about Knights. It's the newest one that just came out, and I really liked it. It was good. The other one we had was the new Mummy, and so far I haven't been able to get myself to watch it because there's no Brendan Fraser, and so I can't really get my brain past that yet. According to my husband, I really need to because it was good, but just not yet. TV shows. I finished Mistresses, and I thought I was just caught up, but it turns out I'm actually done because it's canceled and it's not coming back on. So it's got 4 seasons. It's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. Not really sure how I felt about the ending, but endings always suck because it means they're over. So my old Flosstuber that I'm going to mention this week is going to be Brittany from Ingleside Imaginarium, and it's because I picked her up from the airport and I got to see what an amazing person she is. So sweet and so talented. Oh my goodness, people, this girl could amaze you with all the stuff she's doing or done. She lives a very interesting life. And her Flosstube videos are really good too. She even has one of her singing, and yes, it's really her singing. It's very impressive. I think it's starting to go around Facebook again, so if you see it, check it out because I really liked it. Because she was there, I got to see the last 2 dragons that are going to be on the Birthstone Dragon Stitch Along, and I'm really excited. They're as gorgeous as all the other ones. And then I got to see sneak peeks of the new Stitch Along that's going to be coming, I don't know when. I didn't ask her. I just gawked and awed over how beautiful it was. I got to see the first 3 pieces, and I could tell you, sign me up. I don't even care that you haven't finished designing it. It's so gorgeous. And she started even working on stitching her model piece. It's gonna be something else. So plus she was making the little creatures. I got to see her make those. she's so creative, and like I cross stitch, but I'm not super creative. This guy is making me not very happy right now. I don't like being honked at. Anyways, so I will link her Flosstube below. Please be sure and check her out. She's 110% worth it. And if you could spend a weekend with her like I did, you want to. She's awesome. Next, for my newer Flosstuber, I've been following her for a few weeks now. She put a post up in the Flosstube retreat and said, hey, it's last minute, does anybody need a roommate? And I said, I really didn't plan on needing a roommate, but I figured if it helped both of our costs, why not? And I enjoyed it. She was very nice. You know, we didn't do anything that annoyed each other, at least not on my behalf. Maybe I should ask her. But anyways, so when we decided to be roommates, we started talking. We have similarities. Her husband's name is Sam. My name is Sam. You know. My husband's name starts with a C. Her name starts with a C, even though they're not the same name. So we exchanged Flosstube channels, and I watched some of her videos, and she's very talented. Some of those pieces are so beautiful, and I say some, the ones that I watched were very beautiful. And she brought a finished piece, which was Cinderella's dress by Brooks Books, to the retreat to show off, and then she was working on Belle's dress, and it is just so gorgeous. She made me want to run out and do it, and I look at the pattern and go, why would you stitch a dress? Because it's not the whole person, it's just a dress. And I'm like, why would you want to stitch that? But then it's so beautiful. I'm like, maybe because it's pretty, and I'll enjoy looking at the pretty while I'm stitching it. So it's worth checking out, and be careful because she's going to enable you, because her stitching is gorgeous. So that's it for my flavor of the week. This video is going a little bit faster because I'm not rambling quite as bad, but I feel like I'm leaving out information that I was excited to share before. But that's what happens when you have to remake a whole entire video, right? It's not just me. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So what's next? Whip or haul? What do you think? Yeah, you want to see the shiny new stuff I bought, right? Like I said, I don't have my first purchase, which was a stand here. I will insert a picture at the end of the video, or towards the end of the video. But then, while I was at the LNS, I bought longer scroll bars for my roll frame. Because when I bought my first set, I thought I bought 18, but I bought 15. And then it wasn't long enough for my project. These still aren't quite long enough for my project. So she's like, well, turn your project, and it fits in it like this. But then I'm like trying to stitch, and it's like this far away, and like it didn't work for me. So I ended up using them in a Q-snap. But I'm glad to have these because there are some projects that would fit on this. So I got those. And I also got, and it's not finished, the other pieces are in a bag, but a 11 by 17 Q-snap. And this is what I ended up using most of the weekend, because on the frame, if the fabric's too big, you can't tuck it. It won't roll correctly. So on this one, I was able to tuck the like on the two sides that were too long, I would just kind of fold it in half and then put the Q-snap over it, and that made it short enough that it wasn't too much fabric to deal with. And then I had it in my stand, and it was absolutely wonderful. Which actually brings me to something I forgot to mention this time. When I was driving home, it was like I said, I left out about 1 o'clock, and the adrenaline, it kept me going for half the drive. And when I started getting tired, I put on some of McKenna's live video feed from the Flosstube retreat that was on Instagram. And I had it sitting over here and I'm listening to it. And I glance over if she mentioned something like out loud. Well, she was going by each of the tables because Friday night we didn't have to take our stuff with us. We just left it in the conference room and they locked the conference room. So before everybody had gotten there, and that's not entirely true. I'm there because I saw myself in the video, but I'm shopping Leslie's fabrics. And so anyway, she's going table to table and she came up to a piece and she said, oh, this, I don't remember who's sitting here, but this piece is amazing. And I looked over and it was mine. And I started crying. I was so excited. It made me very emotional and I started crying. Honestly, I think that's why I never introduced myself to McKenna this weekend, was because I couldn't form words. I just kind of, you know, even like Trisha and Megan and all these other people that I'm like, I feel like you're celebrities. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but I really didn't talk to them unless they talked to me first. And that was kind of a problem. And it's not, okay, I didn't introduce myself unless they introduced themselves first. But I would get in on a conversation. You know, I talked to McKenna a couple times, but it wasn't like, hi, I'm Sammy and I watch your videos. Because I felt like that was a little, I don't know. So when she said my work was amazing, I felt really, really, really special. And it was on this frame and it was in the stand and that was awesome. So the next thing I got, let me think. Oh, I had to buy some Kreinik. I don't even know how we say that. I keep saying it differently because I keep hearing it differently. Where did I put it? Because I needed it for one of my pieces that I'm working on, the Cheshire Cat. Ooh, over this way. And it's called Cat's Eye. It's 3202 number 4 fine braid. So, shiny prettiness. It's got some gold and some white in there. Next, because I got the stand and the roller frame, Lois said you have to have one of these little wing nut tools to tighten the wing nuts that are on your frame. So I bought that. And then I bought patterns. And they are, it's a set. They all go together. You can buy them individually or you can work them all together. I have them out of order. 1 second. Okay. They are Lizzie Kate's Christmas rolls. And this is the first one. It says, be kind and of good cheer. And the second one says, treasure family. This one is, fall Allah as you decorate and honor traditions. Give Santa cookies and milk. No pouting. Keep the schedule light and share your joys. Toys. Sarah, share your toys. I said joy the last time. I was like, share your joy with everybody. Anyway. Listen for reindeer. Hang mistletoe. Give more than you get. And welcome friends. And then when you put them all together, they look like that. So that was it for the LNS. Then, where am I setting that? So then the next things I bought was while I was shopping at Leslie's. They're at the conference center. She brought a bunch of stuff to look at. So she had fabric. She had tools that you need. She had patterns, a little bit of everything. Some floss, Not DMC, but like hand-dyed stuff. So I took a picture of a bunch of the Nora Corbett's and Mirabilias because I've been wanting to start one soon. And I let my daughter pick it out because, as I've said before, I don't think I would ever just hang a person on the wall. Like, that's just not really my thing. But my daughter, especially because some of these are like fantastical, like mermaids, fairies, things like that. My daughter would like them, and she can hang people in her room if she wants. And that means I get to stitch it. So I sent her a picture of several of the ones that she had there, and she decided on Foxglove, Pixie Blossoms Collection by Nora Corbett. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh my goodness. I was so afraid she was going to pick one of the ones that were like green or blue. Those aren't my favorite colors, okay? Pink and purple, red, those are my favorite colors. And so, but my daughter's favorite color is green, so I just knew she was going to pick something green, and I'm really glad she didn't. So I'm going to work on this one first. And then there's actually a pink mermaid that she liked too, so they'll be kind of a matching set, sort of. So got her that, and then Leslie had the bead pack for it, because that's one of the things that overwhelmed me, was making sure I get all the right pieces. And this one doesn't have any specialty threads, just beads. So I got the different beads that are called for in this pattern. So that was awesome. And then I was like, okay, it's time for some fabric. The first thing I was looking for was something to stitch the Lizzie Kate on. And I decided I didn't want to do it on like the neutral colors that it has here. And I didn't want to do it in any Christmassy type colors because there's so many in the pattern, it might not go well. So I decided on gold, and it's so shiny. I feel like I could just stare at it all day. And honestly, I love the way it's going across on the video, even more sparkly. So that was my first piece. And then I wanted something to stitch this on. And I couldn't decide between two pieces, so I bought both, right? Right. Because I can use the other one for whatever. I let my daughter decide which one she wants it stitched on. And of course, then I gotta make sure I bought a big enough piece because I didn't pay attention to that either. So the first one I got, oh, by the way, this one is Christmas in Williamsburg. It is 32 count linen. So, and this is the shiny in it is gold shiny, because they have different kinds. They have opal, gold, and silver. This is gold on gold. So then this one is Apollo. It's a 36 count linen, and it's got the opal in it. So with the lighting, which really sucks right now, it's kind of, oh, you can see it a little bit. It's got a little bit of sparkle in there, but it's not a lot of sparkle like this. It's real subtle. And I think that fairy would look gorgeous on it. If not, my next choice was Chloris. And because she does have pink in her, I would try and focus her more towards the middle where the green is. But this has all different colors in it. And it's gorgeous. And it is 28 count Lugana. So, by Under the Sea Fabrics. Because, like I said, she was the one bending there. And I can't fold fabric, apparently. Beep, beep, beep. I will figure it out. So, next, I bought that stuff and I went and sat down. I was going to be a good girl, and that was all I was going to get, because even all of that blew my Stitch from Stash budget. And then I went shopping again. And these, one of them I kind of have an idea for. The other one, I was just trying to get a little more color, because these, Colores has a lot of colors, but the other ones, they're both in the same like color family, right? And so, just because they're pretty, the first one I picked out was Vampiric. It's a 32 count Jobelan. And it is bright, and it is beautiful, and it's got little mottlings of either purple or gray in there. So, it looks gorgeous. And I'll show you. I want to show you some. Okay. Next is Emerald Grotto. It's a 32 count Jobelan. And it's a little hard to see on this. But that's the thing. Like, I know my lighting's not great, but I wanted to get these out there before they end up in projects, and I didn't get to do a haul video. And you're going to see them again when they come up with projects. So, and hopefully then my lighting will be better. But you can kind of tell that there's like light blue, and then it's got like the patches of green. And of course it caught my eye because it's beautiful, but it also, it reminds me of my daughter's eyes, because she was born with bright blue eyes. And as she's gotten older, they've gotten some green in them, which she gets from her father. And the way the bright blue and the green have blended make like a sea green color. So it really reminded me of her eyes. And I thought she would like it because she loves green. Next, I got this peachy, orangey color. It's Gaia. It's 28 count Lugana with opal in it. Is that how you're supposed to say opal in it? Opal Lugana, maybe? So you can see the slight sparkle in it, the big patches of orange and the pale. It's really pretty. So there's that one. And the last one I got, I do have a little bit of an idea. For this one, I might do the Frosted Pumpkins pumpkin spice on this. But it is 32 count linen in Lycan's Moon. So it's purple with some gray. I think it's pretty. So that was all my fabric. And see, now, when I first showed you, okay, where is it? These are the three I originally picked out, right? And that's pretty, but, you know. So then you add in these other colors. And just doesn't that look like a lot better, you know, haul and variety and beautifulness, right? So, that was all the stuff I bought. So, then, there was gifts, goodies that were given to us. So Kate, the queen of new starts, yes, but also no name needle minders. Ooh, people, I cannot talk tonight. She told everybody going to the retreat to go to her website, pick out a needle minder they like, put in a code, and she would make it and bring it to the retreat for them. So this is the one I chose. I feel like it had an autumn type feel to it, and it's got little hearts, which are my favorite. And then she also made for everybody these Flosstube Retreat October 2017, and they came in different colors. And these came in here, and she made those for everybody. And because she said she had extras, and she's like, I don't want to take anything home, take it, I got a second one. So one for work and one for home, right? Works for me. The next thing they gave out was Angela Gibson of Gibbs Girls on Flosstube, and part of Austin's Snarky Stitchers. She offered to either make you an 8x8 grime guard for a Q-snap or an 18-inch guard for a scroll rod. And since I had just gotten scroll rods and I really thought I got an 18, that's what I ordered. Which these should still work for what I've got. But anyways. So these are the ones she made for me. And they, so there, they can go on one side of the frame and the other side of the frame. I do have both. See, so those were given to us by Angela, and she put a card in here. On Facebook, she is Stitchers at Heart, and it says she makes custom designs for your stitching creations, bags, grime guards, small carrying cases, and other unique designs. So there's that. I will link her below. You don't have to try and read this card because I'm doing this. Sorry. So, and I got to meet her. She was one of the stitchers I went out to dinner with the first night, and she's really nice. And from the area, so she knew things. All right. I told you I won 2 of the raffles, both of the sets of needle minders. This is the first one, first set. It's got some heart-shaped lollipops. I said I liked hearts. And look, there's a purple, there's pink, there's red. All my favorite colors. This one says, I could stop eating, I could give up chocolate, but I'm not a quitter. And then we got some chocolate-covered strawberries. I'm going to get hungry every time I use these. Just, you watch. Then a little map of Austin. And then a cupcake that says, eat me. And then, so that was the first set. Then the second set was the cross-stitching set. There's a woman. This one doesn't show up very well. There we go. Woman with a frame in her lap. It says you can't buy happiness, but you can buy fabric, and that's pretty close. Yeah, isn't that right? Okay. And then create, to cause, to exist, bring into being. A needle pulling thread, and another little map of Austin. So those were what I won from the raffle. Next, they had a pass the stash table. So you left patterns or fabric or whatever there that you were done with or weren't going to use. And then you could pick up things. And everything that was left on the table when we left the retreat was going to be donated to a women's shelter there in Austin. Okay, so about a little over 3 years ago, I was living with my father-in-law and his trailer burnt down, and I lost all my stitching stuff. Well, the amazing community that we have, I was in Cross Stitch and Discuss, and I told people about it, and a lot of people offered to send me stuff. And I received several boxes with tons of, this, that, and the other in it. And I used, I made a lot of stuff out of that stuff before I could build my stash back. But then I had several patterns that I liked, but I knew I would never stitch, or I really tried stitching some of those Paula Vaughn ones. We didn't agree. So I donated that stuff because I figured it's donated to me, I should pay it forward, right? And so I did pick up 2 patterns from the Pass the Stash table. The first is by Brooks Books. It says, Dad, a son's first hero, a daughter's first love. And I thought this was kind of perfect because my husband loves owls. More so real owls, not so much the cutesy ones. But when you put it all together, it's perfect. So I'm going to stitch that and hang it in my house. It's got like... Guess I hadn't really looked at the pattern yet. I just looked at the picture on the front. Okay. So then the next thing I got, and I'm probably going to stitch this for somebody else, but it's Lizzie Kate's Time for God, and it says, happy times praise God, difficult times seek God. I can't read that. Quiet times worship God, hard times trust God, all times thank God. So when I stitch that one, I'll probably be stitching it for someone else. I have a person in mind, I should say. So next, Karen. She's not a Flosstuber. She's one of the ones I picked up from the airport, and she's a super sweet lady and very outgoing and just full of life. She asked me if I had one of these, and I didn't, so she gave this to me. And it's a seam ripper called Seam Fix. I saw where Danielle, Flosstube named Stitcherista, did a demonstration on this. So if you're interested, you can go check that out. I will link it below. So while I'm not anxious to have to frog any, the next time I have to frog, I'm anxious to use this tool. Does that make sense? I think so. So that was all my freebie stuff. That was all my stuff. It was a lot of stuff. And I'm so excited. I'm just over the moon excited. Okay, next, my whips. Should I play some music right here? That's what I need to start doing. Okay, so the last time I saw y'all was September 26th. And then on September 27th, I worked on Gingerbread House. So that is this guy. And I'm getting really close to being done on this one. Like, I think I've pretty much just got white left to do. Pretty much, I think. Maybe a little green. So, it's an ornament. It's almost done. I don't remember who makes it or who the book is by, but it's a book full of ornaments, and I'm going through each one. So, that's that one. Next, on September 28th, I worked on my birthstone dragons. This is one of those days where I was just not really focused, and I did not get near as much stitching done as I would have liked, but I worked on it. So this is how it looks at the current time. I had to, there we go. I had to finish out these boxes, so I did all that, and then I started on this dragon. Now remember I said that I skipped August because it's my birth month, and I wanted to see which dragon I liked best to be able to switch it here, and switch them out. Now that I've gotten to see all the rest of the design thanks to Brittany, I will be choosing December to put here. So the dragon with the wings is going to go in December, and then December's dragon, I'm not saying what it is going to be in August, but with August colors, and then that one with the wings is going to have December's colors. It's going to work. You're going to see. And I even told Brittany that, and she loves the idea. So there is that. Next, okay, so I'm in a group called Semi-Sane Stitchers, and they're having an event the first 2 weeks of October, so it's half over. And they split us into groups, and you would send up 2 to 5, whatever, pictures of whips, and everybody would vote, and whichever one they voted on was the one you were supposed to work on. So the first day, I don't remember which options I submitted, but they chose Love and Cat by Doreen Jones on 18 count Black Ada. I had gone all the way to the side, but I didn't have it filled in. I hadn't finished this side. I worked more on the flower, And then I started on this flyer down here. I got quite a bit of stitching done. I want to say there was like about 1,200 stitches that I did on this one the last time I worked on it. See, and now it's trying to autocorrect. Okay. So there's that one. The second one they chose was my Monopoly board, which, as you're well aware, I have to do, each time I work on it, I have to do 2 blocks. I have to do 2 blocks a week. And so I was able to get both blocks knocked out in one night and even kind of start on a third one. So, yeah, it's so big. It's okay. So these two were my first 2. These 2 and most of this one got done last time. And then these 2 are my new ones. And you can see where I kind of started on a third. So that's where it's at. It is coming along nicely, quickly, and I really like how vibrant the colors are. It is beautiful. October 3rd, the girls chose Quotes to Live By. And I can't remember how much I did on this, but I felt like I did pretty good. So here's where it's at. Filled in a lot more of that pink. I got O finished. Started on T. Got a lot of the top done. So I moved along with that. I just love this fabric. Karen and I were just oohing and awing over the beautiful yellow of this fabric, how soft the fabric is. It is my pride and joy right now. Then I didn't stitch for a couple days because I was getting ready to go out of town, and at the retreat, because it was my days off, I really wanted to work on my Heaven and Earth design. So I only worked on one while I was there, and y'all, I did not do that much stitching. I was too busy hee-hawing and chatting my brains out, and yeah. But what I did get done is that. I mean, like, from here, this diagonal right here. So, 1, 2, wait, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, 10 by 10 squares. So that's a little over 500. And then, so from here to here, that's a page. The entire top row is done. And then I started, instead of going back up and starting going down again, I decided to continue down because the block right under this one is all the same color, and the block under it, which is only like a quarter of a block, is all the same color. So I'm going to go down and finish the rest of the page and then come back and do a diagonal, or keep going doing my diagonal work. I don't know if I'm going to like do diagonally, finish out the page, then go the next page, or if I'm going to like start flipping back and forth and just continue to do the I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I decide when I get there. I love how it's turning out. This is the project that McKenna called amazing. So McKenna, if you're watching for some reason, thank you. It made my day because I love it. But I love it even more when other people love it too. So there's that. That is all my whips. That is my haul. That is my Flosstube rambling. My flavor of the week. I think that's everything. And you could tell I did a lot less rambling this time because I went from, well, okay, I don't know how long it's going to be once I add in the driving to the Flosstube retreat. But right now I'm sitting at like 45 minutes. And I will be adding pictures to the end, information on everybody I've talked about, plus some other stuff down below. I want to thank everybody that subscribes to me, takes the time to listen to me ramble, enjoys what I'm working on enough to come back for a second time or more. I really appreciate it. It makes me feel really good. So, and even if you weren't here, I would continue to make them, but you make me want to make them more. So, oh, and I also want to do a huge thank you to Julia. She's Julicious on YouTube. She organized and put together this entire retreat, and she said many times how she was ready to pull her hair out, and it was very overwhelming for her, and she did an amazing job. It was laid back. Nobody felt, I mean, there was no like schedule you had to stick to. People came and went. People bounced from table to table talking to everybody. It was a very relaxed retreat. It was a very warm, welcoming retreat. I know everybody enjoyed the heck out of themselves. So thank you, Julia, for putting on such an amazing retreat. And I really hope that now that it's all said and done and you've gotten past your first one, that you do decide to make another one next year, because I want to be the first in line to go. So y'all have a great evening. Happy stitching, and I will see y'all next week.